Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jayam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudidiyat Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 17, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his youth, text 68 onwards. Tabe Acharya Gosair Ananda Haila, Lajita Haiya Prabhu Prasada Karila. At that time, Advaita Acharya was greatly pleased. The Lord understood this and he was somewhat ashamed, but he offered Advaita Acharya his benediction. At that time means when Lord punished him in Shantipur. So Advaita Acharya was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri's spiritual master. Therefore, Ishwar Puri, the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was Advaita Acharya's god brother. In view of this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu treated Advaita Acharya as his spiritual master. So this is something we need to understand, to treat god brother of our spiritual master as spiritual master, as our spiritual master. But Sri Advaita Acharya did not like this behavior of Lord Chaitanya, for he wanted to be treated as his eternal servant. Advaita Prabhu's aspiration was to be a servant of the Lord, not his spiritual master. He therefore devised a plan to antagonize the Lord. He began to explain the path of philosophical speculation in the midst of some unfortunate Mayavadis. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard about this, he immediately went there and in very angry mood began to beat Advaita Acharya. At that time, Advaita Acharya, greatly pleased, began to dance, saying, "Just see how my desire has now been fulfilled." Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to treat me honorably for so long, but now he is treating me neglectfully. This is my reward. So that is why to understand devotee and devotee's mood is very difficult. Can anybody think that this is a reward, being beaten up by somebody? But this is what Advaita Acharya thinks, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted me as a servant. He said, where is your respectable mood now? His affection for me is so great that he wanted to save me from the hands of the Mayavadis. Hearing this statement, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was somewhat ashamed, but he was very pleased with Advaita Acharya. So this is a mood of devotee and the Lord, how they reciprocate. Murari Gupta Mukhya Shuni Rama Guna Gram Lala Likhila Tara Ramadas Lam. Murari Gupta was a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra. When Lord Chaitanya heard Lord Ramchandra's glories from his mouth, he immediately wrote on his forehead, Ramadas, the eternal servant of Lord Ramchandra. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Murari Gupta was chanting the names of Ram. Mahaprabhu asked him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, whole night he tried to chant Hare Krishna, but he couldn't. So next morning he met Mahaprabhu, he said, I could not chant Hare Krishna. I can only chant Ram. So Mahaprabhu was very pleased with him and he immediately wrote on his forehead, Ramdas, your Ramdas. Shridharer Loha Patre Kaila Jalapan Samasta Bhaktere Lila Ishtavardhan. Once Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Sridhar. So this was Kholavecha Sridhar. After Kirtan and drank water from his damaged iron pot. Then he bestowed his benediction upon all the devotees according to their desires. So after the mass Nagar Sankirtan in protest against the magistrate Chand Kazi, the Kazi was converted to a devotee. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned with the Sankirtan party to the house of Sridhar, and Chand Kazi followed. All the devotees rested there for some time and drank water from Sridhar's damaged iron pot. The Lord accepted the water because the pot belonged to a devotee. Chand Kasi then returned home. The place where they rested is still situated on the northeastern side of Mayapur, and it is known as Kirtan Vishram Sthan, the resting place of the Kirtan party. So I guess when we go to Mayapur, we can have darshan of this place, Kirtan Vishram Sthan. So we have heard the story of Kolavecha Sridhar and this iron pot. And Mahaprabhu, can you believe it? This is the only property he had. And it was damaged. It Prabhupada says damaged iron. In the shloka it says Loha Patre, from the iron pot. But Prabhupada says from its damaged iron pot. Actually it was damaged, means it was dented at so many places that even a desperate thief will not steal it. And Kolavecha Sridhar would use this iron pot for all his activities. When he had to go answer the calls of nature, when he had to drink water, when he had to do anything, he would use it because that's the only thing he had. And Mahaprabhu drank water from that. He said, I'm very thirsty, I want to drink water. And now this pastime of Nagar Sankirtan in protest against the magistrate Chand Kazi, I believe it will, in detail, this pastime is mentioned later on. So we'll study it later. Haridas Thakurer Karila Prashan Acharya Sthane Matar Khandaila Apara. After this incident, the Lord blessed Haridas Thakur and vanquished the offense of his mother at the home of Advaita Acharya. So on the Mahaprakash Day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Haridas Thakur and informed him that he was none other than an incarnation of Prahlad. So again, some places it is said Haridas Thakur is incarnation of Brahmaji, but here Prabhupada says he was incarnation of Prahlad. So it could be a combined incarnation. When Vishwarup took sannyas, Shachimata thought that Advaita Acharya had persuaded him to do so. Therefore, she accused Advaita Acharya, which was an offense at his lotus feet. Later, Lord Chaitanya induced his mother to take the dust of Advaita Acharya's lotus feet, and thus her Vaishnava aparadh was nullified. So this we discussed earlier. Bhaktagane Prabhuna Mahima Kahi Shuniya Padviya Taha Arthavad Kaila. Once when the Lord explained the glories of the holy name to the devotees, some ordinary students who heard him fashioned their own interpretation. Name Stuti Vadashuni Prabhu Hela Dukha Sabare Nishedila Iha Na Dekhi Amukha. When a student interpreted the glories of the holy name as a prayer of exaggeration, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, greatly unhappy, immediately warned everyone not to see the student's face henceforth. So Lord's holy name, its glories are unlimited. But those who don't have faith, like that student, they say, oh, it's exaggerated, it cannot be so. And Mahaprabhu said, nobody should see the face of this person. Once when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the glories of the transcendental potency of the Lord's holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one unfortunate student said that such glorification of the holy name was an exaggeration in the Shastras to induce people to take to it. So as if the Shastras are going to lie. That's not the point. In this way, the student interpreted the glories of the holy name. This is called Arthava, and it is one of the 10 offenses at the lotus feet of the holy name of the Lord. There are many kinds of offenses, but the offense known as Namaparad, an offense at the lotus feet of the holy name, is extremely dangerous. The Lord therefore warned everyone not to see the face of the offender. The Lord immediately took a bath in the Ganges with all his clothes on to teach everyone to avoid such a Namaparad. The holy name is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no difference between the person God and his holy name. Actually, there is one difference. There are many differences. One difference is if somebody commits an offense against a Supreme Lord, the deity or the Lord himself, he can take shelter of the holy name. But if one commits offense against the holy name, even the deities, even the Lord will not give him shelter. That is one. And second is, holy name of the Lord is more merciful than the Lord himself. In the sense that suppose we are going somewhere, we are driving the car, and somebody is about to hit us. We're not going to go and find the deity and take shelter. Immediately we can chant the holy names. And Krishna is non-different, he would be there. So we can take shelter of the holy name because holy name is more merciful than the Lord himself. But in Tattva-wise, yes, there is no difference. This is the absolute position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one who distinguishes between the Lord and his name is called a Pashandi, or non-believer, an atheistic demon. Glorification of the holy name is glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should never attempt to distinguish between the Lord and his name or interpret the glories of the holy name as mere exaggeration. So these are not exaggeration. Sagane sachelegiya kaila ganga snan bhakti mahima taha karila vyakhyam. Without even removing his garments, Lord Chaitanya took a bath in Ganges, and I don't want to say Ganges, Ganga with his companions. Therefore, there he explained the glories of devotional service. Jnana karma yoga dharme nahe Krishna vasha hetu eka prema bhakti rasa. By following the paths of speculative philosophical knowledge, fruitive activity, or mystic yoga. So speculative philosophical knowledge, that is Jnana Yoga, fruitive activity, Karma Kanda, mystic yoga, Dhyana, mystic yoga, Dhyana yoga, or to control the senses. So by these processes, one cannot satisfy Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Unalloyed devotional service, all devotional love for Krishna is the only cause for the Lord's satisfaction. So other processes we perform to make advancement, we think we can make advancement, but it doesn't please the Lord. Krishna himself said in Bhagavatam, na sadhyati mama yogo, na sankyam dharma uttapa, na swadhyayas tapastyagam, yatha bhakti ramahorjita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna said, my dear Uddhav, neither through Ashtanga Yoga, the mystic yoga system to control the senses, nor through impersonal monism or an analytical study of the absolute truth, nor through the study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas, can one satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service unto me. So nothing can satisfy the Lord as much as unalloyed devotional service. Karmis, Jnanis, Yogis, Tapasvis, and students of Vedic literature who do not have Krishna consciousness simply beat around the bush and do not get any final profit because they have no clear knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nor do they have faith in approaching him by discharging devotional service, although everywhere such service is repeatedly emphasized. as it is in this verse from Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita 1855 also declares, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yasyasmi tattva. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. If one wants to understand the Supreme Personality factually, he must take to the path of devotion service and not waste time in profitless philosophical speculation, fruitive activity, mystic yogic practice, or severe austerity and penance. So when it says only by devotion service is to be known, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. So if this is 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The 4th chapter, Krishna says, no, Janma Karma Chami Devyam Evam Yuveti Tattvata. Tyakta Deham Punarjanma Neti Mameti Suvarjana. That my birth and my past and all our activities, they're all divya, all transcendental. So in 18th chapter, he tells how to know him. He says, one who knows my activities, he does not have to take birth again. But how to know him? It says, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Only by bhakti I am to be known. So everything is together, and this is how by Prabhupada, when he wrote his commentary, that's why in every purport he stressed on bhakti, because he said this is what Krishna wants. And that's why he said Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any change. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord confirms, Klesho diktarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. So many times people say, oh, we want to meditate. But Krishna himself says in 12th chapter, those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very difficult, very troublesome. Klesho diktarastesham. People who are attached to the impersonal feature of the Lord are obliged to take great trouble, yet nevertheless they cannot understand the absolute truth. As explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwaniti Shantete. So unless one understands the Supreme Personality of God, the original source of both Brahman and Paramatma, one is still in darkness about the absolute truth. So no other path can take us towards Krishna. Murari ke kahe tumi Krishna vasha kaila shuniya murari shloke kahite lagila. Lord Chaitanya then praised Murari Gupta, saying, you have satisfied Lord Krishna. Hearing this, Murari Gupta quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Kwaham daridra papiyam kwa Krishna Shri Niketana Brahma Bandhu Riti Samaham Bahubhyam Parirambita. Since I am but a poor, sinful Brahma Bandhu, not Brahmanically qualified, although born in a Brahman family, and you, Lord Krishna, are the shelter of the goddess of fortune. It is simply wonderful, my dear Lord, that you have embraced me with your arms. So this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Sudama Vipra in the presence of Lord Shri Krishna. This and the previous verse quoted from Bhagavatam clearly indicates that although Krishna is so great that it's not possible for anyone to satisfy him, he exhibits his greatness by being personally satisfied, even with one who is unqualified from so many angles of vision. So Murari Gupta, he is taking such a humble position. He is saying, I am a poor, sinful Brahma Bandhu. And Murari Gupta never considered himself Brahman anyway, because he was a physician and he always maintained that I'm very low born. But you have, out of your mercy, you have embraced me with your arms, like Sudama Vipra said. Sudama Vipra was born in a family of Brahmins, and he was a learned scholar and a class friend of Krishna's. Yet he considered himself unfit to be strictly called a Brahmin. He called himself a Brahma Bandhu, meaning one born in a Brahmin family but not Brahmanically qualified. So that is called Brahma Bandhu. Because of his great respect for Brahmins, however, Krishna embraced Sudama Vipra, although he was not a regular Brahmin but a Brahma Bandhu or friend of a Brahmin family. Murari Gupta could not be called even a Brahma Bandhu because he was born in a Vaidya family and according to the social structure was therefore considered a Shudra. So even a Vaidya family, he was a doctor. But according to Vedic structure, he was considered a Shudra. But Krishna bestowed mercy, special mercy upon Murari Gupta because he was a beloved devotee of the Lord, as stated by Sri Chaitanya. The purport of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur elaborates discussion of this subject is that no qualification in this material world can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Yet everything becomes successful simply through development of devotional service to the Lord. So Krishna is not pleased by our material qualities. He has all the six opulences incomplete, in full. So can our beauty satisfy him? No. Knowledge? No. Renunciation? No. Strength? No. Fame? No. One I'm missing. Beauty, knowledge, strength, fame, renunciation, and our Shri opulence, money, wealth. Nothing. He has everything in full. Only thing that he is expecting from us is loving devotional service. So he can reciprocate lovingly with us. So that's all he wants. And that devotion service can be performed by anyone and everyone. Maybe whenever we get a chance, we'll study Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And Narad Muni is looking for the person, he starts his journey looking for a person who got the most mercy. And every devotee he meets, he says, oh, you got the most mercy of Krishna. You are so glorified, you are so exalted. And in the process, he goes to Hanumanji also. Hanumanji said, what mercy? I got this animal body. And they always then refer Naradji to the next person they think who got more mercy. So the point is, yes, they all are devotees, wonderful. Narada goes from one king, for one Brahman to a king, then Indra, then Brahmaji, and then so on and so forth. Shivji also, Prahlad Maharaj, Pandavas, Hanumanji, Gopis. He goes through all of them. But the point is, anybody and everybody can perform devotion service. Although they all said, no, I'm not, I don't have the most mercy. This person has the most mercy. Prahlad Maharaj said, I was born in an Asuric family. What do you think? Narsinghdev came and he just left. Just for a few moments he came. But the point is, devotional service is so powerful, and anybody and everybody can perform. Jatayu performed. He was in a bird's body. Even that squirrel who was putting some grains of sand when the bridge was being constructed, he also performed devotion service. Lord Ram was very pleased with him. All the monkeys who helped Ram in the battle, they all perform. Devotion service is not just sitting down and doing arti and or other, yes, it is also devotion service, but helping Lord Ram in his battle, that's what pleased Lord Ram. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will read about how other devotees performed. Krishna, we know how devotees perform devotion service. Kubja, talk about Shabari, what qualities she had. She was a Bhilini. Bhilini means forest dwellers. And in fact, nowhere it is mentioned what her real name was, Shabari. Shabari is just from caste-wise, Bhilini. And somehow she ended up in this ashram of Matanga Rishi, and she served there. She served so nicely. Matang Rishi, one day, he was going to leave for Vaikuntha. And Shabari came, Baba, you're leaving, what will happen to me? How can I see the Lord? Matang Rishi said, you don't worry about seeing the Lord. Lord will come to see you. One day the Lord Ram will come to see you. And he left, Matang Rishi left his disciples. And she was alone in the ashram. Just with full faith in the words of her guru, she would clean the ashram every day because Guruji said, Ram will come to see you. Clean the ashram, keep the fruits every day. Okay, today he didn't come. Okay, tomorrow he will come. And I'll come, clean the ashram again. Every day. For 10,000 years. We talk about in Nectar of Instruction, Utsaha Nishya Dhairyat. This is all three. Utsaha is there, Nishya is there, Dhairya is there. And Lord Ram came. This is bhakti. Prabhupada further says, the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness cannot even call themselves Brahma Bandhus. Therefore, our only means of satisfying Krishna is to pursue the injunctions of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who says, Jara Deka Taraka hai Krishna Upadesh, Amar Agya Guru Haya Tara Desh. Whoever you meet, instruct him on the teachings of Krishna. In this way, on my order, become a spiritual master and deliver the people of this country. So simply trying to follow the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we speak to the people of the world about Bhagavad Gita as it is. This will make us qualified to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And Prabhupada is saying that this will make us qualified. Of course, he's saying for us, he is always qualified. So this injunction we follow and do our sadhana and Prabhupada's with full faith in Prabhupada's words, and we'll definitely make advancement. Okay, I guess we can stop. You see anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, yesterday you were telling about a Gopinath DT, so where the Chandan paste was applied. So it is not in Govardhan, but it is in near Calcutta, Navdeep.
No, no. It's near Jagannath Puri.
Okay, in Jagannath Puri.
Not near, it's on the way to Jagannath Puri. It's near Cuttack actually, Balasore.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I was confused because you mentioned right that in Govardhan also they had that Gopinath DT and the same DT which
No.
was engraved by Ramchandra.
No. Okay. made a mess of the whole story.
Yeah, actually. So I just
At
thought that.
Govardhan, at
Yeah.
Govardhan, it was Gopal DT,
Okay. Okay. Gopal
who,
DT. Okay.
who is now Srinathji in Nathadwar.
Nathdwar. Okay. Rajasthan. Yes.
Yeah. And this Gopinath deity was carved by Lord Ramchandra, by his arrow,
Oh. Okay. Okay.
who is in Odisha.
Odisha, Cuttack.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Because I was hearing it, so I was like not clear. So I thought to ask you.
Okay, no problem.
Hare
माता जी
Krishna.
अभी ट्रिप में जाएंगे ना तो जब वहां पे विजिट करेंगे फिर और क्लियर हो जाएगा.
Yeah, once you see the deity and eat honor that Amrit Keli, then you'll remember.
We are going to go there also.
Yes, माता जी.
If we can add one more day.
नहीं प्रभु जी, उसी में मैनेज करेंगे.
अरे उसमें कहाँ हो पाएगा.
चलो चले तो सही पहले. Let's see.
चलो.
प्रभु जी वही डेट है क्या अभी भी जाने का, नवंबर
दिसंबर माता
अभी
जी.
तो
दिसंबर.
पैम्फलेट
हाँ,
पोस्ट किया था मैंने.
फिर से पोस्ट किया था. एक्चुअली मैंने उसी टाइम पे अशोक प्रभु जी को पूछा था कि मतलब जब एक बार
माता जी.
डिस्कशन हुआ था. हेलो.
ये
दिसंबर है
pamphlet
माता जी.
post किया.
12th to 17th. I think.
13th
प्रभु
to
जी, is there any
17th.
change? 13th to 17th.
13. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, माता जी. Thank you, प्रभु जी.
Okay, thank you. We all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Jai
you,
Shri
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Prabhupada.